Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
I saw a post today asking the age-old question: determinism versus free will. Do we determine our destiny? Is our destiny fated, or do we have free will? What do you think, my friend? What are your thoughts on this concept? Do you believe that your choices, your decisions, are your own? Or do you believe that there are things, forces working in the background? Or perhaps you believe both. One of my friends shared with me his philosophy, and I tend to think the same, that there are predetermined paths, different paths that we can head down, different fractals in time, alternate realities, but that we have the free will to choose which path we head down. If we head down path A, something happens. If we head down path B, something different happens. But we ultimately have the choice which path we head down. There's another thought about our habits and the things that we do each day. They say that we do not determine our destiny. We determine our habits, and our habits determine our destiny. I believe this is the same thing. It is a choice at the end of the day. For one of my favorite quotes of all time by Andrew Ryan: we all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. So, it was a choice for me to press record and start this podcast episode. It will also be a choice for me to publish this episode so that you can hear it. My friend, if I chose not to, what would happen? What would happen if I simply made the choice to not do the thing? You would never hear this episode. You may never question or be affected by the contents of this podcast episode. Because in one fractal, this podcast exists. But in an alternate reality, it doesn't. I never started. I got the idea, and I never ran with it. I never kept going. Or I just gave up. There exists a reality where this podcast doesn't exist. And all the people who have been affected, all the people who have called in, I love and I am so grateful for everyone who has called into this podcast or personally messaged me and said that they were affected by this. But is that fate? Is that destiny? Am I fated or am I destined to inspire others? Are you destined to your current station or situation? Or was it your own free will that you are there? Is your life predetermined? Is your path set out before you? Or is it a choice that you have made to remain where you are or to take a leap of faith? That is the question, my friend. And I pose this question to you. What do you think? How is your life determined or not? And does every action you make count towards a future that may or may not happen based on the effects of our actions? For when we are dealing at the cause, I believe we change the effects. But when we are operating at the effects, we are influenced by the cause. It is my belief that you have the power, my friend, to change your circumstances. But it begins as a thought, like everything does. The device you are using to listen to this podcast, the platform you are using to consume this information, all of that began as a thought. This began as a thought, my friend, but it is a thought that I acted upon. What thought will you allow to enter your mind that when acted upon may change the course of your destiny? Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, that is the Open Palm Podcast, here in San Antonio, Texas. The open palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. I pray that you received an encouraging message tonight, or today, wherever you are listening, and that you would share it with a like-minded individual who, like you, is learning and growing. Change the course of their destiny as you spread this message. Many have wondered how to support the podcast. Well, the best way to support it is by becoming a supporter, opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw and clicking that little support button is much appreciated, where even $1 can go a long way to making a difference. Be blessed, my friend. Be well. Be prosperous. Be productive. Be courageous. Choose wisely. Till next time. Take care.
Hey there, my friend. So, you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.